Welcome to September, beginning of fall, and this is the time of year where we have beautiful goldenrod in bloom. Goldenrod has a lot of excellent healing properties, and it's a perennial plant, so it comes back every year. We have plenty in the field behind me, so we're going to go ahead and harvest some of this, and we'll talk about the healing properties of it in just a moment. Hi, we're back with our goldenrod. One of the easiest ways to take goldenrod is as an infusion. It's great for respiratory issues, and it's also great for bladder issues, urinary tract infections, bladder infections, cystitis. And if you've ever had one of those, you'll understand that you don't have time to wait. You want something you can take now. And tinctures can take a couple months to make. Infusions just take about a half hour. The parts that we use of the goldenrod are the aerial, the flower, and the leaf. So we're just going to go ahead and take our flower. Use about 6 tablespoons of fresh material. Per quart. Now we're going to let this sit for at least a half an hour. That's just a quick introduction to how to make an infusion with the goldenrod. Normally we take it in. I would rinse it off, rinse the plant off gently to get any kind of dirt particles or any bugs off of it. Now if you want to preserve some goldenrod to use over the winter, you can dry it. So I'm going to go ahead and make some room here. And what I have, basic window screens. You can get these at any hardware store. They're adjustable window screens so that you can stretch them out. And I'm just going to go ahead and snip off some flower here. I'll let these spread them out so that they dry. Some people, you can put these in an oven at the lowest temperature setting with the door cracked open and let them dry in the oven. If you're lucky enough to have a food dehydrator, you can use that, or you can dry them the old-fashioned way, which is using screens. I have a dry, warm area up in the loft of my garage that I can set this in. And just spread them out nice and leave them sit for a couple of weeks. Now I'm going to rinse these off before I finish getting these prepared to dry, but I'm just demonstrating on how you would do it. But definitely when you go wild crafting, you want to make sure that you give it a good light rinse, just to remove any kind of insects that might be there. Goldenrod, it's a great pollinator plant. So you're going to have some butterflies, you could have some bees, you could have some ants. It's not an endangered plant, but I'm not going to harvest everything I have. I'm just taking what I need and leaving the rest. So we're just going to spread these flowers out so they can dry. And another way you can take goldenrod is to make a tincture. You can make a tincture out of fresh plant material. Again, using fresh plant material, you're going to use twice as much as you would a dry plant material. And I do have other videos on how to make tinctures. You can go ahead and reference those if you want to make a tincture. I prefer to use dried plant material when I make my tinctures. goldenrod is great if you have respiratory problems, if you've got the flu, if you have a cold, if you have anything irritating your bronchial tubes, bronchitis. You can make a tincture and have that available for when you are sick and want to take it, or you can prepare an infusion like this. Look at that beautiful golden color. But when you're sick, you don't want to mess around, so nobody wants to run to the herb shop. Nobody's got time to wait for an herb order to get there. And a lot of herbs that I have shared and that I have in my Materia Medica that I've talked about are great for respiratory issues. It's important to have a number of herbs that are good for the same issue, because they're not all available. This one is in abundance this time of year. You can see it growing along any roadside. I don't recommend using herbs and plants that you find along the road, just for the simple fact of all the pollution from all the traffic going by. Just like that. So where I harvested this, it was not along the road, it was farther in. I'm just going to want to go ahead and spread this out. So again, just to recap, goldenrod. It is great for respiratory issues. It's great for cold, cough, bronchitis. It is also great for urinary tract infections. If you have a problem with UTIs, if you have males, if you have an enlarged prostate, it's good for inflammation of the urinary tract system, along with the respiratory issues I mentioned before. It is in abundance. You can find this on any roadside this time of year. Beautiful golden flowers like this. So go ahead and collect some goldenrod, and I would recommend drying some and keeping it in. Once it's dried I'd give it 2 to 3 weeks to check it. And once it's dried, go ahead and store it in a mason jar, and then you have it available for the time you need it. So thank you for watching. If you want to learn how to make a tincture, feel free to check out that video on how to make a tincture. And if you want to learn how to make an infusion, I just showed you the basic way. I didn't go over measurements or anything. I do have videos on how to make infusions as well. So happy foraging, happy wildcrafting, and take advantage of the herbs that you can before winter hits. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment below. And let me know if you have any questions or comments as far as herbs. Thank you.